Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the Detroit Tigers turned Austin Prospects. And last episode we left off at the end of the ALCS where we lost 4-2 to the Astros, who are a very good team. If you do not remember from that episode, they won 115 games in the regular season. And unsurprisingly, they went on to win the World Series. Brewers took them to 7 games, but the Astros still won the World Series, which is very unsurprising. Now, I apologize for maybe my lack of uploads in the past few days. I was on vacation, so I wasn't really able to upload pretty much every day, but I'm back, so daily uploads should be pretty much continuing from here, which is what I'm trying to do if you're unaware. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but definitely just trying to get a video out every day for you guys, but I think that's all the kind of housekeeping items I want to go over. Do not forget to like and subscribe, of course, if you have been enjoying the Out of the Park Baseball content that I've been putting on my channel. Definitely expect that to continue. Now, getting into kind of the game here, of course, we are at the beginning of the offseason now and have some things to go over. Now, the first thing I want to mention is our kind of staff. We have re-upped with 2 guys who are pretty important to our staff. We have Tony Mansolino and Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin we brought in as our bench coach last year. He's, inexperienced. I do like his ratings though, so I definitely decided to bring him back. No really reason to not. His first year of coaching, so that experience is gonna go up. So hopefully he'll be kind of better known around the league. But for now, he is fine. And then Tony Mansolino is the other guy. I thought about firing him as our manager. Well, not firing him, just not extending and bringing him back, because some of his ratings I wish kind of were different. His relief pitcher hook I wish was quicker, and I wish he didn't have quite the bunt and steal frequency. But actually, after kind of reviewing the team, I actually don't think we've been stealing too much. At least not like crazy. Like, none of our guys are getting caught stealing a lot, so I think that's largely fine. Then relief pitcher hook, I actually haven't really noticed a difference in these ratings since kind of the 3 batter minimum has of course been implemented this year, so it's the first time that it's been in this game or that I've played with it in this game. So I definitely don't think the relief pitcher hooks makes really that much of a difference in this year's game with the 3 batter minimum, so I think that's largely fine. So of course he's been good with us. He was manager of the year in his first year at the team, so he's going to be coming back and hopefully leading our team to several more playoff appearances. Now, looking at our salary arbitration eligible guys, I'm definitely looking at the guys we're going to be looking to bring back. I don't really see any problem with a lot of this. All of this is largely going to remain the same. Really, the only sad thing here of note is that Matt Manning, the Matt Manning era in Detroit / now Austin is over. His ratings have really declined now, and he's pretty much nothing more than, at the very least, just the kind of depth bullpen arm they have. But even at that, he's not very good. Still is a plus fastball and curveball, but other than that, he is pretty bad, and he hasn't seen any major league experience with us since last year. So his career in our organization is coming to a sad end, and so is the Steve Almeas. Not going to be bringing him back this season, so we'll finally be moving on from him kind of as a depth guy in our organization. He didn't play in the majors at all last year, but he will not be around any further. Main things of note here: Mize, Cameron, Basabe, Paolini, all these guys get extended. We bring back most of our bullpen, and then of course, as I mentioned, Mize is going to be back after a great bounce back season. Now, pending free agents, Josh Bell and Miguel Diaz, we're going to go ahead and let go. At least I think we're going to let Diaz go. Yeah, he wants $5 million. Basically just going to replace these guys with depth, like cheap veteran guys next year in a free agency. So we're just going to go ahead and just bring in different guys to fill those same roles. Now, kind of talking about my plan for free agency and what we're going to do. Basically, I think we're going to bring in one arm to really solidify that bullpen, preferably a lefty, because we have guys like Montoya, Jimenez, Robson, elite relievers that are all righties, and in the postseason especially, you could really see that we really are missing that left-handed stopper in our bullpen. All of our lefty relievers are pretty much kind of the same ratings-wise, same value-wise, and they're all okay, but there's no guy that I really trust to go in there and get the good lefties on the other teams out. So that's definitely need. Don't really want to touch the rotation. Of course, we could upgrade, but Rocker, Mize, Wentz is starting three I'm pretty comfortable with, especially with how Joe Musgrove performed last year. And of course, Wentz also had pretty much a career year. And also, a thing of big note to kind of look at is Joey Cammarata. He's still the number one prospect in baseball. He's about to be 25 literally in 2 days in this game. So I think this is really the year that we just let him sink or swim and just see what he has. So he's going to be in the starting rotation from day one. He got his first taste of the big leagues last year. I'm barely playing, but yeah, so he's just going to get a chance from day one to be in the rotation, and we'll just see how he does. At the trade deadline, we'll kind of assess from there, but as of right now, I want to leave a spot open for him in the rotation, so we basically can just see what we have in him at the major league level. And then kind of talking lineup-wise, really just I want to get another impact bat in there. Whether it be somewhere in the outfield, whether it be, a guy who comes in DHs for us, plays first base, maybe Blaze Jordan shifts over to DH, maybe a guy like Basabe shifts over to DH, just, we need another big impact bat. Another thing that we could go after for that impact bat is to find a real shortstop. Sal Perez, more of a second baseman, kind of been moonlighting for us at short of recent, the past few years actually, but his defensive rating has gotten better at short, so he's been able to handle that a bit better, although definitely not what we want with the offense. So, that's basically what I'm looking for, trying to do this offseason. Definitely going to bring in some more depth veteran guys on cheap contracts like we did last year. And, of course, these guys end up working out for us pretty well, like Josh Bell, Joe Musgrove, all of those guys. So, definitely going to look to do some of the same this offseason. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into some of the awards and then get into the free agent signings. Alright, now, so the awards have all been kind of announced. We're just going to kind of go through and kind of quickly go over kind of all the news and stuff around the league. Bellinger wins for the National League. I believe he's won a few times. He's won not every year, but pretty much every year. He's a stud. They're still playing right field for the Dodgers. Juan Soto, second. Acuna Jr., third. Not really too much there. In real life, I'd expect these guys also to just kind of dominate the National League awards for a while. Colin Barber, of course, a very good outfielder that we saw a little bit of in the Astros series. He won the American League. Then his own teammate, Yordan Alvarez, second. Of course, he hit 70 homers this year, which is ridiculous. And Jared Kelenic, I believe it is, he had a great year for Seattle. So, three young guys there also. Well, Alvarez isn't so young anymore. He's 28, but not, of course, young as Barber is 24. But, again, some young guys dominating there. Andre Tavares, a very young lefty for the Brewers. He looks like a stud for them. And then Caleb Ferguson, kind of a veteran at this point for the Dodgers. And Mike Soroka winning there. Just take a quick look at Tavares. Oh, yeah, this guy he's a stud. And that was his first Major League season, pretty much. Yeah, that guy is ridiculous. In the American League, Alejandro Malayan, won. He's been dominant for a few years with the Blue Jays. Austin Cox with the Royals. And AJ Puck with the A's. Nobody in there for us. And definitely should check American League. Yeah. Our team's pretty much a team, really team-based organization. At least we don't have any standouts at this point. Jordan Walker did get some votes, but not very close to winning it. We did not win a Manager of the Year award. AL Rookie, actually, we do pick up an award here. Tyler Freeman, the second guy on the team to win Rookie of the Year award, I do believe, after Walker won it. So Freeman doing stuff. He had a great season for us. Great on-base guy, 375 OBP at the top of our lineup. So definitely glad to have him around. And then here's your Silver Sluggers. Again, nothing really of the ordinary. Silver Sluggers for American League. Michael Chavis wins it for second base, which is he had a great season compared to his previous career years. And then, I don't see anyone. Mike Trout winning it for DH. Kind of sucks because he could definitely play a corner outfield in this game at this point, but they just, are just playing him at DH because they have another guy who can play center, but that's kind of interesting to see. Betts is on the Astros. Forgot about that for a second. And, Bregman wins Silver Slugger for third base over Walker. And then reliever of the year, the only really award that we might have a shot at, and no one's even in contention. Best gloves. Here's National League real quick. Nothing too surprising, of course. And then American League, we don't have anyone, which isn't that surprising. So yeah, that is going to do it for all the awards. Now we're just going to keep on rolling on to free agency, basically. Okay, so here's just some quick salary arbitration decisions for our guys. Not really too much out of the ordinary here, I don't think. Everyone pretty much made what I would about expect. Basabe, he didn't really go up at all, which is good. Definitely saving some money there. And let's see some international guys that are available now. These guys are usually always available for pretty cheap, so it'll definitely be good to bring one of these guys in if they're pretty good. Tony Juarez, not a bad defensive shortstop, but absolutely nothing with the bat, so definitely not going to bring him in. Ernesto Pedraza is already on a team. He's already in the Mariners, so won't be able to bring him in. Alex Perez, young outfielder who never strikes out, basically. He's nothing special. And then a Taiwanese outfielder who's already in the Red Sox organization. It's weird. I've been noticing more and more of these guys already on teams, and the international guys available in general just aren't that great in this game, which is weird considering in the past. I mean, the international free agent classes are usually stacked. Usually I'm able to take advantage of those and bring in guys on pretty low contracts that are very impactful. So kind of looking at what relievers are available, pretty disappointing, honestly, in the lefty department. The best lefty available is Felipe Vasquez, and he's just a guy who we're not going to bring in for a lot of reasons that all of you out there probably are aware of, so I'm not even going to consider him as an option. And really, I mean, after that, no one is really available, especially really meaning no one's available that's much of an upgrade already over all of the guys that we already have in our organization. Hobie Milner is here, who actually was pretty good for us for a few years, but he's pretty much the same guy who fell off that we let go of at this point. So, I mean, yeah, definitely not really many guys out there that there are to consider relief-wise, especially lefties, like I said. So we might look for a trade in the Rule 5 draft. Probably look for a trade after the Rule 5 draft, because definitely want to see if there are any lefty relievers available in the Rule 5 draft, because there definitely usually are some good relievers there. And, of course, I want to mention that we actually do have a decent amount of money to spend. We have about $50 million for free agents available this year. So we do have quite a bit of money to spend. So that definitely might go towards adding a really big impact bat, which would be very nice for us, since I definitely want to leave that last spot in the rotation open for Cammarata. So can't really bring in a starter, so we might have to spend that money on a big upgrade bat. Looking at the bats that are available, there definitely are some guys who are good. I mean, all of the guys here at the top are big impact guys who would be very useful to bring in. Mejia could maybe bring him in as definitely not a catcher, but he could DH for us, because his defensive abilities are not anywhere near the guys already have. He's been pretty decent, although I think most of his values come since he's a catcher defensively, so his offense is a bit more pronounced there. Victor Robles, he could be a very interesting guy. He is a very good defensively, which we really could use that case. Cameron really shouldn't be playing center field at this point, especially in a park as big as Cammarata. So he would be quite the upgrade. So going ahead and eyeing up a lot of the depth free agent bats that are available, there are a few that stick out to me. Number one is Michael Conforto, who his ratings actually still don't look bad. I mean, he has 65 power, 60 discipline. He's a 2.5 star player. But really, of late, or where his numbers started to fall off, I mean, 195, 295, 311 slash line in only 100 games for the Mets last season. Got about 400 plate appearances, but I mean, if you look at the years before that, kind of fell off here, but was a monster player. Well, not a monster player, but still very good value guy to have throughout his career. I mean, 3 to 5 win player basically, and even after real life ended, kind of video game world took over, He hasn't been as good, was good at first, but I mean, his ratings are still good. So I think he's going to be a guy we look at as more of a DH kind of guy because he can't really play much outfield anymore. So we're going to go ahead and offer up to him as a left-handed bat. He only wants 1.5, so I mean, definitely no harm done. If he can do what Josh Bell did for us last year in the DH spot, that would be a great get for us. The other guy here that we're going to look at is Tristan Gray. Now, Tristan Gray is a guy who I find very interesting. He has had no real shot at the major leagues. He's a free agent. But in the minor leagues, he's raked every year. If you look at, he's pretty much been in AAA for the past few years. And he's been raking. I mean, 310, 372, 487 slash line there in 2024. Was very good at the bat. Didn't get as much playing time in 2025. I actually got a little cup of coffee with the Dodgers there. But still, I mean, he's been on good teams where he's just been blocked, but he's been raking in AAA. So, I mean, he's 29. But I think this is a guy who we absolutely take a chance on, at least as a depth guy in the organization if he doesn't make the majors, because we definitely need lefty bats who could come up and make an impact. So he's another guy we're going to go with. And then yet another lefty depth bat that we're going to go with. I mean, I think these guys are fine to offer up to because, I mean, all of these guys are pretty much only looking for the $1 million range. Is going to be Jock Peterson. He's another guy who's pretty similar to Conforto. Now, he still can play the field at the age of 33, unlike Conforto. Can still play left field, I should specify. Can't really play any other spot, but I mean, he's again a guy who was pretty good following, immediately starting this game. 4-win season, 5-win season, another 5-win season 2020. Wasn't good in 2023, 2024. Was pretty good with the bat. Well, not pretty good. He was just a decent kind of guy there. And then this past season, very bad season for him. So I'm hoping, he can rebound, maybe do something like that. At least be minor league depth for this team, because we do have some bench bat spots open. So again, at this point, with all of these guys that I'm committing to, I think that really means that Daz Cameron's going to be back in center field at least to start the year. Because, of course, all these guys will fill out kind of the bench outfield spots that we have. All of them won't make the team, but at least one, some of them will. And at least one of them will make the team as a lefty to pair at first base with Blaze Jordan. So they could at least get bats that way. I might switch in the commissioner mode just real quick to kind of edit the first base ratings for some guys like Peterson, Conforto, because of course in real life they're corner outfielders in their younger days, but in their older days, I know at least Peterson has already the Dodgers already kind of experimented with him with that first base. Didn't go great as he was kind of learning on the fly in the middle of the season, but I definitely think as he's older, him being able to play some first base definitely makes him valuable as a veteran guy. I definitely do think he'll learn to play at least a decent first base, and he'll need to, I think, to kind of stick around the league as a veteran guy. Okay, so skipping kind of all the way to the Rule 5 draft. Now, no one that we've offered up to so far have signed on yet. So decided that I'd just go ahead and roll right into the Rule 5 draft. Now, I was looking at veteran shortstops, really any kind of shortstop to kind of bring in and, try to solidify that infield for us. And really, there was nothing that was too interesting. Andrelton Simmons was out there. So I thought, maybe I should just bring in a fantastic defensive shortstop if, there really aren't many offensive shortstops, and there were really any offensive shortstops that I liked, or really any offensive shortstops that I could trade for either, because I did also look into that off camera. But then I got to the Rule 5 draft, and there was nothing really that was making kind of my eye pop. Couldn't find any good lefty relievers either until I saw this guy, Junior Caminero, whatever it is. He looks like a absolutely fantastic defensive shortstop. Honestly, maybe even better than Simmons if he gets kind of the same opportunities to play. 80 grade rating, 75 range, 80 infield air. Not quite as good of an arm as Simmons, but still a great arm and fantastic at turning double plays. Now, his hitting ratings are not as good as a guy like Simmons, because Simmons, he rarely strikes out, which actually provides a decent amount of offensive value for him. Pretty much the guarantee that, he won't really hit for you, but he will not strike out and put the ball in play, which of course is a useful skill that can be used in a few situations to, create runs kind of that way. Now Simmons, he can be a little bit expensive in this game. And then I looked kind of, at this guy's ratings, and he's actually hit pretty well. This past year in A-ball, he hit 310, did not hit as well in high A, but still, he's been in the kind of low minor leagues, and he's been hitting a decent bit. So I think, it might be worth to, bring in a guy like this. I actually want to see his BABIP quick, and that's, it was 365, which, isn't crazy for a guy, with his speed and stuff. You'd think that a guy with some speed could maybe, 360 might be a bit high, but 330 is definitely attainable for a guy like this, I think. And I think I really am comfortable in general kind of with our offense more than our pitching. I'd be comfortable with bringing a big splash in midseason. We made it to the playoffs the last few years, so I think our offense is fine and could at least get us to July. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. We'll just see how, this experiment with defensive stopper shortstop goes, especially with Walker at third, who can play great defense on that left side of the infield. So with that said, that's going to do it for the episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and be sure to check out other videos in this series and any of the other baseball content on my channel. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll be seeing you next episode.